I'm not in complete pain as I make it out to be, but I just want to say hello and welcome, guys. This is episode 6 of the Phil Show podcast. I'm Philip. I'm your host. I'm your captain of the ship, Starship Enterprise, and Captain Philip here to sail this podcast into disaster, as I did in the previous episode. I know the previous episode was kind of ridiculous, so we're going to dial it back a little bit in this episode, get a little bit more conversational, if you will, right? So yeah, sometimes we're going to have those episodes, but sometimes we're going to be kind of ridiculous and nonsensical, and you're going to think, why am I even listening to this? Even though there are 3 people, like 2 of the 3 people are like, why am I listening to this? I should just, yeah. So right now we're just going to have a conversation about, some topics. I know that I want to talk about something that has to do with, like, that is related to the previous videos I made on YouTube regarding 90s and 2000s cartoons, just nostalgia in general and the past and how it affects us right now and things like cartoons from the past, and we'll just talk a little bit about it, Yeah, we're not going to make it super ridiculous. I know that's kind of an inevitable thing in this podcast, but we're just going to make it semi, endurable this time, okay? So, how you guys been? Good? Bad? There's no one here besides me, so I don't know what I'm even asking. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Like, the topic of nostalgia, right? It's kind of a weird thing because nostalgia has kind of a melancholy feeling attached to it, because basically what nostalgia is, you're just thinking about the past and how good it was and how much you wish to be back, right? And how much you wish you had that same feeling back in the past, which is kind of weird, right? And I always think whenever you're living in the past or trying to look for a better future, you're missing out on the present moment. And you're like torturing yourself, wallowing in fantasies and memories that aren't reality, and the only reality that exists is right now in this moment. And I think, like, I'm not immune to it. I'm guilty of having the most nostalgia in the world. All of my feelings and behaviors are driven completely by nostalgia. My bloodstream is like 90% nostalgia, I think, but. So yeah, I'm totally guilty of this same thing, but it's something that you have to, at least I try to be aware of it, because I don't think that feeling of fantasizing about a better past or looking for a better future is healthy, because wallowing in it it's not healthy for a mental state. And I know that from experience. And I just try to live in the present, and that's where you also can find your memories back. Like, you can create new memories the same way you did in the past by living in the present. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, like, I made those videos about cartoons, right? So it made me really think about nostalgia and how weird it actually is. And sometimes I weird myself out. I don't know if you guys have this feeling that sometimes you just weird yourself out. Like, man, I am really like this, right? And the more I grow older, the more I think nostalgia grows. And that's sometimes it can be kind of scary. Because I know damn well in my rational brain, the logical capacity of my brain knows damn well that I don't want to watch those cartoons again. I know those cartoons in the past had a great time there was a great moment in my life, but I don't have time to watch those cartoons anymore, man. And I know a lot of people love anime, and and are really into watching series and stuff like that, I can't even watch series anymore. I just have such a great sense of guilt and wasting my time whenever I do that I just cannot put myself to watch any series or cartoons or whatsoever. I love movies. Movies are great. I watch movies for days. I know it takes 1 hour. I experience something I enjoyed, and it's over, and I can go about my day again like it was nothing happened. And I just gained a new experience, which movies provide. So I like movies. I just don't like the continuous, perpetual spiral that series have. That's not something I enjoy. I know how other people might enjoy that, and I really respect that. But once again, I don't think I could ever watch cartoons again, ever. I stopped watching cartoons or series, even though I have the same nostalgia, right? That's kind of weird. And there's also another weird thing. Like, as a kid, I used to... This is like really weird. This is going to weird a lot of people out. As a kid, I watched cartoons. I watched so many cartoons for such a long period of time when I was younger that I would even watch cartoons that I didn't like just so I could watch the next cartoon that I did enjoy. So, for example, some bullshit Hanna-Barbera cartoon came up, like the Flintstones or Scooby-Doo, which I, even as a child, thought was really boring. Because I know after that would come Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or whatever it may be, I would just sit through the whole fucking episodes, because there would come multiple episodes, like Flintstones and then Scooby-Doo, then like multiple episodes, and I would just torture myself sitting through these cartoons just so that I can watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles afterwards. Talking about patience, man. God damn. I mean, that did develop like a high level of patience for me right now that I really benefit from, I guess. Or maybe it's just intrinsically in me to have patience and not seek short-term rewards and gratification. Or maybe that really instilled in me. I don't know. But god damn. I think a lot of children don't even have an attention span to watch cartoons they like, let alone sit through cartoons that they don't enjoy. I think this is the part where people might be weirded out, and that weirds me out kind of, because I really do have a strong memory about like sitting through cartoons that I didn't enjoy just to watch something I liked. And I think that's really weird, and I'm really curious. I don't even know what that means. And what that oh my god, what that says about me. So thinking about older cartoons that I really thought sucked, like basically all Hanna-Barbera cartoons, they all sucked. I don't know why they exist. I think they were boring. They were gimmicky. They were repetitive. They had no substance. I mean, I'm being really critical about it, but if you think about it, like all Hanna-Barbera cartoons, like had one gimmick, and they would perpetuate that through all episodes. And I guess when cartoons weren't that old yet, I think you didn't have anything better, and that's the way they were made. I think that's the only reason why they existed in that way. But Hanna-Barbera, I don't know, like Scooby-Doo, for example, always had the gimmick, finding the criminal or the unmasking the guy, going through a haunted mansion, Benny Hill chase, and the reveal. And it was kind of the same every time. Johnny Bravo. like if you isolate the character Johnny Bravo on its own, I feel like that's a kind of a good character, or like that's a fun character for a cartoon, and it could be a good cartoon, but because of it's so gimmicky, like this is what he does. He flirts with women and he always fails. And let's just perpetuate that in every episode. That gets old really quick. I mean, like, I don't know how many people feel the same way and how as strong as I do, but man, and the same thing goes for Looney Tunes, Coyote and the Roadrunner. Oh my God. It's like repetition is like really what kills me. But anyway, like, and also we had like things like Tom and Jerry. I'm talking about really older cartoons that I just know that started early 90s, like since the 90s. Tom and Jerry also, like, I like for what they are right now, even though I wouldn't watch them, but I really didn't enjoy it as much back then. And this is funny. I watched, coincidentally, I don't know how, I watched a Tom and Jerry episode, and I would laugh now. And as a kid, I would always think, that it was boring. Tom and Jerry was kind of boring. I don't know why exactly. I don't know how my mind worked. To be honest, I don't really know why. But now I laughed, like hearing those these boings and bonks, and Tom getting hit by mallets. And the most funniest, the funniest thing of all is like both these characters wouldn't say a single word, but sometimes they would scream like really loud, and you have to realize there were voice actors for this, and those were like really human screams, and that was like really iconic. Like oftentimes you would hear like yeah, yeah, something like that, you know. And I like, whoa, holy shit, dude, those screams. Someone had to really voice act that shit. And I can't do it because I just fucked up my throat right now. But I think that's the funniest thing about Tom and Jerry. Those human screams that would come out of nowhere. Like, yo! Oh my God, dude. Talking about fucking... Like, Wilhelm's scream was nothing compared to it. So yeah, Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, like Popeye, I watched a little bit. Eating the spinach. And also really boring, gimmicky cartoon. There was a period of time when I was really young, I watched Teletubbies. Yeah, Teletubbies, man, how weird. Like, someone had to come up with that idea, right? Like, aliens. What are they actually? They're like aliens, right? And they have TVs on their stomach. And a son baby. Their son has a baby face. I mean, this is a complete like different dimension than ours. And it's a completely alien world. I mean, I think it's like in their planet, that's our planet or something like that. And why televisions in their tummies, man? Why? And for what purpose? They would gather around like freaking cultists and then activate their televisions. Like, we would watch them, but if you think about it, in their world, to who are they showing these like video clips? Is it like memories from like from Earth that they absorbed, and when they got back to their planet, that's like what they can watch back? Like, remember when I absorbed this person and this memory of this person? Let's enjoy this as a television show entertainment. That's kind of creepy, right? Like, imagine Teletubbies coming to this planet like like completely stealth, and then while you dream, they absorb your memories and they store that in their televisions to watch that for their entertainment. That's kind of that would be kind of crazy, right? Yeah. So yeah, Teletubbies. If you like, I think every child show, if you would think about it logically with a adult mindset, everything is kind of insane. I think every cartoon would be insane anyway. And we had like the best cartoons that I have the best memories of as a child would be Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. I think till this day I would still watch Dragon Ball Z. I wouldn't voluntarily use my time to do so, but if I used to work at a company where we used to watch Dragon Ball Z episodes during the lunch break, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, I kind of liked it. I mean, that's the only reasonable time I accept to watch Dragon Ball Z. I mean, what I like about Dragon Ball Z is that the complete honesty, and as far as I know, it was the first thing that really revolutionized its own genre. Because after Dragon Ball Z, all other animes tried to beat Dragon Ball Z. Like Naruto was a ninja Dragon Ball Z. One Piece was a Dragon Ball Z. Like the creator even mentioned that he was inspired by Dragon Ball Z. Bleach all used the same like power system. Like everything that used the power system and fight other characters. As a level up to fight a stronger character is grabbing direct inspiration from Dragon Ball Z. Like, no doubt. And I feel I enjoy Dragon Ball Z because I think it has a solid world, but more so than that, it's completely honest in what it tries to be. It's not pretentious, and it knows what it is, like, so well. I just hate when animes or cartoons, for that matter, try to be, obviously are something, but try to be something more that they are. And I feel like that's obviously the definition of being pretentious, right? That's what I don't like. Dragon Ball Z is completely honest, and as far as I know, it was the first one to do something like that. And maybe I could be biased because it was something that impacted my childhood, but I don't know. I felt like it was kind of unique, and it's also an art style that you wouldn't see. You don't see it come back in any other way. Like, it's completely unique and on its own. And yeah, that's it. That's all it is, man. Dragon Ball Z is just good old-fashioned fighting. There's no story whatsoever. There's like no drama involved. There's no like character drama or side story or like complexity involved. It's just beating characters up, beating stronger characters up, becoming stronger to beat the stronger characters up, and just raising your levels of power to beat the strongest person and to beat the strongest person. And it's just good old-fashioned fighting. I think if you like MMA or like stuff like that, I think that's... I get it. Like, that's what Dragon Ball Z is to me. Like, there's some kind of story involved, but it doesn't try to be like deep or meaningful, or like, it just tries to be a fighting anime, and that's what I love about it. Yeah, and Pokemon obviously impacted everyone in the whole planet of this entire Earth. I don't know what it is about capturing animals and making them fight each other, but also in Pokemon, I always felt like a little bit of like, yeah, they're actually capturing animals, feeding and training them to beat each other up, like, and severely beat each other up. Like, they never die in that show, but they're like severely injured enough that you have to take them to the hospital to be cured, right? And what I think is particularly interesting in the shows is like how Pokemon taught children to be self-centered, egotistical maniacs to just care about like winning. Like it's even in the theme songs, man. I only know the Dutch version of the theme songs, but it's just listen to some older Pokemon series and listen to the theme songs. They always mention like, I want to be the best, I want to win against everyone, I want to beat everyone, and I want to win. I want to be the best and win against everyone. It's all about me, motherfuckers. And even in the some episodes, you see how Ash really only thinks about himself. Like how competing in tournaments and gyms is like more important than his friends. And now I think that's why you always see different party members in every season. Like, because like these people get tired of Ash, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just talking some nonsense. But yeah, and also what's interesting is that whenever Ash would fail a tournament, because that would happen sometimes, the Pokemons that he used to have during that tournament are gone in the next episode. They're just gone. What happened to them, man? What the fuck? That sounds kind of ominous to me, you know? Like as if he said, guys, you didn't meet the standard to win the tournament. You guys failed me. And then he just grabs out a gun, like, it's time for you to go. You're the weakest link. You know, I think that's what happened. Like next episode, he didn't have the Pokemons anymore. Like what happened, bro? What did you do? What did you do? So yeah, that was Pokemon. Weird. Like it was been my childhood. I think it's weird how, I don't know. There's something I noticed, like how the show incentivizes people like to think about winning, like teaching children to be Charlie Sheens, essentially. You know, winning, tiger blood, yeah, cocaine. So yeah, that's it. What other cartoons are there? What else is there to mention in terms of cartoons? Like Pokemon. Another great show, like part of my youth was Beyblade. And then there was like a very, how would you say that it was kind of a trend? Because it was very, at least where I lived, I think in many other parts of the world, when Beyblade was really a thing back then, like really popularized as a show, it was also popularized, the merchandise was popularized. And I really remember that period when Beyblade was popular. A lot of people would buy Beyblades to fight against each other in using the Beyblades. I loved that period of time so much. It just had a lot of great memories, like buying those Beyblades and pretending that you're like a spirit monster is you're summoning out of a fucking toll, like a dreidel, like a mechanical dreidel, you know? Yeah, and you know what the thing is also interesting? SpongeBob SquarePants, because SpongeBob SquarePants essentially is it's kind of an old TV show, but at the same time it's also a very new TV show because it's still out there and still exists. And it's something I mentioned in my videos as well. It really survived the test of time. Still to this day, as an older viewer, you can still like watch it and be interested by it. I think that's good. Talking about cartoons, like as like old versus new, young, and when you're growing up, like I'm sure you might remember this as well. This was an interesting phenomenon, right? My Little Pony. You guys remember it? Are Bronies still around? Do you think Bronies are still around, or because they were really like at some period of time, like they came out all of a sudden out of the sewers, like, oh, we're Bronies, we exist now. Look at us, we're here. We're finally. It's the time of the Bronies. The stars are aligned. It's finally time for us to arise. You know, like all the Bronies suddenly existed, and that was a thing. And what happened, man? Do they still exist, or are they back underground? And is this show still relevant? And this is one thing I thought was really interesting. I never realized, like, I'm not trying to be cool or like anything. I just really didn't realize. I just didn't know what the appeal was for My Little Pony. And I didn't know why grown-ass men would obsess over the show and even go as far to identify themselves as someone who watches the show, like to like create a term like for your own community as a show watcher, like Brony. I think it's an interesting phenomenon as a 30-year-old, because like the older ones was obviously for younger girls, but also Friendship is Magic was like targeted for younger girls as well. And suddenly 30-year-old grown-ass men started to get interest into it. And that really caught my attention, because I myself, I didn't want to watch it. I knew subject matter, the whole thing about the show didn't interest me, right? I'm not trying to be cool or anything. Just doesn't interest me. That kind of cartoon it's not for me. So I naturally had this like intrigue, like, wow, why are these 30-year-old grown-ass men, like, who are probably like fat nerds, like suddenly getting interest in this TV show that is for 8-year-old girls? So I decided to investigate, because I wouldn't just, I just wouldn't accept like the fact that I didn't know. So, you know, the site Omegle, like you have Omegle and then you have the video option to have like video conversations with complete strangers. But you also, in Omegle, you have like the option to just chat with random strangers. You can, you had the option to ask a questions, and then two strangers would come in and debate debate or answer the questions that you ask. And the only thing you could do was observe the two strangers, and then the two strangers would like give their debate or talk about it or whatever. So the way I decided to investigate this matter was, okay, this platform is a good platform to investigate and just really find out what it is about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So I went on Omegle, I typed in, what is the appeal to Friendship is Magic? And I just, like, as if it was a survey, I just regard it as a survey to, you know, I was interested. And so strangers would answer, and the most common answer I would get was like, you know, the plot is pretty good once you give it a try, if you give it a chance. It's a mature, it's a fun cartoon that also has a maturity in it. And like, it's so cliche to mention like that people say they will see it, they watch it for the plot, but that's like was a common answer, right? And not necessarily the plot, but like this, how the story was written or stuff like that. And so I wasn't really convinced. That was the case. So I had to dig deeper. I asked, and I had like a lot of the same answers until I came across one answer that like was different from it all. And it was an answer that like for me felt like finally someone spoke the truth. I don't know what it was about the answer, but something about the answer told me this was the truth. This guy is speaking the truth, And I feel like he's speaking for everyone who's masking it with, I'm watching for the plot, I'm watching for the plot, right? Because I feel like it's like a self-defense mechanism, an auto response to say, I watch it for the plot, it has maturity in the blah, 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 blah. I felt like it was a very automated response, like a bot, to mask the underlying unconscious thought process, maybe that something that they might not even realize. This person, out of like hundreds, like I wouldn't say hundreds, I would say like our maximum like 30 people I think I asked. But yeah, out of all these people, there was one particular answer that intrigued me. This guy said, so my question was, what is the appeal of my friendship is magic? And his answer was, well, I like to imagine that the characters are real female characters, like real life girls. And since when I imagine them being real girls, instead of ponies, like imagine them the real girls, the characters become interesting and the show becomes more interesting to me. Something along those lines, I mean. And something clicked for me. Like, I think this might be the reason people like those 30-year-old bronies watch oh my god, Friendship is Magic. My Little Pony Friendship. That's a lot to. That's a mouthful, man. But anyway, I really felt like this answer was, because it was so different from all the other answers, and I really felt like that was the underlying reason they were really watching, because it makes sense from a nerdy, underground, 30-year-old outcast that would watch a 8-year-old's cartoon show. It makes sense. If that kind of person imagines these characters are real-life girls, you have like... It makes sense for me if you imagine a Mountain Dew drinking, Dorito chip eating, while playing World of Warcraft playing Brony, to have that thought process and then like have to mask that with an answer like, oh, I watch it because it has maturity and actually the story writing and the writing for the show is kind of good. So I believe that is actually the thought process behind Bronies. And it makes sense. I'm not judging anyone because of it. I'm not making it as if, oh, you guys are doing that. No. You're bad, little boy. I'm not doing that at all. I'm not judging anyone. I don't care what you do. As long as you don't harm other people. I don't care what you do with your free time or in your personal life. You just do you, man. Whatever makes you happy. But I do think it makes sense, and it clarifies why. So yeah, that was a kind of a side tangent about My Little Pony, because that's something I really thought was interesting in that period, and it came out of left field, like out of a sudden, Bronies. And I'm still wondering, do they still exist, or aren't they as prevalent as they used to be? Because furries still exist. They're still a thing. And I know there's a period of time that they were really prevalent. It's like whenever gays were really popularized and they were like, yeah, I'm gay, you accept me who I am. And they're finally fed up with, like, there was a moment like gays were finally fed up with being oppressed, and they just came out and just like didn't give a shit and didn't care about it. Like, I'm gay and whatever, bitch. Like, you know. And now we just know that there are gays, and there are also people, and now we know, and now they're just and now we live together. And I feel like that's the same thing with furries. Like, there was a period of time like like the same way there are it was baby boomers in the period of time, like booming with new babies. Like there were like furry boomers. Like there was a period of time where there was a lot of furries, and it was like really popularized as well. Like I don't know where it came from also, but now they just live among us like naturally, you know. I'm curious to know what the next new thing would be. Like furries was kind of a common thing, and then bronies came out of it as a side, like as a subclass, almost you would say, like as an like sub evolution. You know, like rats and mouses, like the sub evolution of animals. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, actually. It's just nonsense at this point. But anyway, I'm just wondering, what's the next thing? And will there even be a next, like, furry thing? I'm wondering. Yeah, so to go back to cartoons, there were a lot of those like, interesting moments in time, you know? And it just makes you think, like, that's also a little bit of part of nostalgia. Like there were like so many interesting moments in time that you like think about, and I feel like there's like less of it. Maybe it's just an anecdotal experience, but I feel like there's less of that, like interesting moments in time that you can really like remember. Like, oh yeah, it was really a thing back then, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess that's all I wanted to talk about. I know there's a lot of other cartoons, like millions of cartoons. I think it's ridiculous how many cartoons there are. Like there's more options than we can actually consume in terms of cartoons, I guess. It's incredible. Like, it's good because voice actors can have jobs, or maybe, like, talking about voice actors, like, let's just keep it going, guys. Talking about voice actors, I thought it was really interesting, like, when we're talking about cartoons, like, at least in the Netherlands, you can really notice how little voice actors there were for cartoons, because, like, every other cartoons had like the same voice actor, and there were like there's like a lot of different kind of characters, but there were obviously the same voice. It's like not even like they would change up their voice for a certain character. Like they would talk like, "Oh, I'm this big doofy guy," and then, "Yeah, I'm this main character now." Like they would change their voice. Like there would be always the same kind of voice, and you would always recognize the same voice actor through many different characters. And that was like a prevalent thing in cartoons in the Netherlands. I don't know how much that is the same in other areas, other parts of the world, like United States and other parts. But in the Netherlands, that was kind of crazy, like how little voice actors there were for cartoons. Like you could like in different cartoons, you can really recognize. Oh, that's that voice actor. That's like that's the Timmy Turner from Father of Parents. I would like think for a different character with the same voice, I would say, oh, that's Timmy Turner. That's obvious. That's Timmy Turner in a different character. That's like kind of weird. You would say with so many cartoons there would be more jobs, but I guess in the end of the day, I guess only the real good ones is what you want. You want the real good ones. You don't want the bad ones. So I think there weren't really a lot of good voice actors out there. You know, I for sure wouldn't be a good voice actor because my voice is I think the least good thing, like good trait about I would say about myself. Like, what character would this be? Like, hey guys, I'm Johnson Johnston. I'm very old. I'm very old and I wear glasses. And I smoked my whole life, and so my voice is gone. I really hope I could speak because I could use my voice because I'm really old and my back crumbles like a cookie sometimes. You know how it goes. John Johnston.
Hey, I'm the main character right here, guys. I'm the mischievous main character. I'm all up to no good here, and I speak like this, and like in a kind of forced manner, and I want to go fast, and but also I'm kind of constipated because I ate like 20 bananas this day, and this shit wouldn't come out, and it really hurts, and I think I have to go to a surgery to remove that shit out of my bowels. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but I'm the main character. Just call me, most people call me George, but a lot of people call me shit and bowels. Constipatey. My nickname is Constipatey. So, but you can call me George if you want. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm the. That's basically Patrick. Hey SpongeBob. What else? Yeah, I'm the cool guy, you know. I'm the cool sidekick of Constipatey. I'm Big Chin Al. I have a really big chin, and that's why my voice is kind of a, like an American guy, like an all-American guy, you know. How would you like your coffee today, sir? Coincidentally, I'm a barista now. So I'm also a barista, which does not fit my character at all. An iced Americano, would that be all, sir? That would be $3.99. I don't even know what price it is. What other characters?
Hey,
I tried to do a female, but I'll just stop there because I'll just stop there because that's terrible. That's terrible. And that's why I'm not a voice actor and just enjoy other voice actors. But I really admire the job because, well, my voice is terrible. And so I really admire people who like excel and specialize and are skilled in that. And I just admire skill in general, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what people do, when you specialize and you portray a high level of skill of any kind, I really admire and respect you for that. I think many people do. So what other voices can we create? Hey guys, I'm late. I'm sorry. I had to go to Dunkin' Donuts, but then they didn't get my Nutella nutcracker that I usually get. So, yeah, I'm late. I had to buy the strawberry Strinkles, Strinkle-stron donut today. But they didn't have the milkshake vanilla Vlingle that they used to have. But so, yeah, I'm kind of late for that. What kind of character is that? Like the... more of the fat guy Carl or something like that. I'm the hold on, let me think about this one. What other voice do we have? Let me think about this one. No, that's kind of similar to the Constipatey. Let me think. We want a more mysterious contrast to the main character, the Vegeta, the Sasuke.
Hey, Sasuke, what are you doing?
None of your business. I'm just being Sasuke. That's none of your business. I listen to Radiohead, and I have a bad time like every day. Like every day? Like English is not my native language, so that's going to be a problem as a voice actor as well. So, yeah, I have a bad day. I'm also like half Spanish, so I'm also having different accent. I'm a Spanish I have a Spanish. Oh my God, dude! I'm a Spanish Sasuke. They call me Saskio. That's terrible. As soon as I tried to say that, I knew it was going to be terrible. I'm Spanish Sasuke. I have a Spanish accent, and I have also a terrible day. That's terrible. That's the worst character I've ever come up with. Little Timmy. That's like the butt of the joke. It's the beta male. It's always the bottom in the hierarchy. And it's like, oh, jeez. I hope I have a good day today. I hope I don't mess up. That's little Timmy. Poor little Timmy. There he goes again. Poor little Timmy.
Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise.
He's coming now, right? That's little Timmy when he masturbates.
Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise.
Okay, guys. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it, guys. Yeah, I talked about everything. This is just pure ridiculous nonsense at this point. So I'm out of things to say, and that's why we're here. So I'm just gonna say, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'm going to be seeing you in the next one, guys. See ya.